I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I know I probably don't deserve forgiveness, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the terrible things I've said and done. I'm sorry for being a burden. I'm sorry that I didn't live up to what you wanted me to be. I'm sorry I didn't fit your mold. I'm sorry I couldn't be perfect. I'm sorry that I let you believe that you could treat me this way. I'm sorry I let you bring me down and make me feel so worthless. I'm sorry that I let you ignore me and make me feel so alone. I'm sorry that I've endured this for so many years without saying anything. I'm sorry that I saw you rolling your eyes and laughing at what I said. I'm sorry that all of my accomplishments meant nothing to you. I'm sorry that you couldn't understand that what you said left scars. I'm sorry that you didn't care enough to ask how I was feeling. I'm sorry I was nothing more than an annoyance. I'm sorry I was a bother. I'm sorry I was never enough for you. I tried, and I'm sorry. Good afternoon, Mrs. Beth, Mr. Postma, my parents, my sister who's watching on Teams, and fellow students. My name is Sakura, and today I'm going to be speaking to you about forgiveness and guilt. What I just read was part of a monologue that I wrote for my grade 10 drama class. And if I'm being entirely honest, I never performed it. Before the due date, I wrote an entirely different monologue because A, it wasn't long enough, and B, I was too scared of how my classmates would react, what they would think. And for most of my life, I've been scared of how everyone would react. I would second guess every decision I made, whether it was about what clothes I wore or what clubs I should join or what I should say. I was always scared. But I'm working to fix that and forgive myself little by little for every opportunity that I missed out on because I was scared. I did a little bit of research, and the Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines forgiveness as to cease to feel resentment against an offender, to give up resentment or claim to acquittal, or to grant relief from payment. This got me thinking, what counts as an offender? What counts as payment? And how can I give up my own resentment? I obviously don't have any of the answers to these questions, but I can tell you what I think they might mean. Perhaps an offender can be described as someone that hurt you. Maybe it was a friend, or maybe it was even yourself. And if what we consider to be payment doesn't have to be of monetary value, then maybe it means guilt. Maybe forgiveness allows us to relieve our own or someone else's guilt. I honestly don't know. I personally think that giving up resentment is the hardest part of the process. How can I move past something that hurts so much? How can I just move forward and pretend that everything's all right? And to that, I still don't have any ideas. I'm hoping that by talking to all of you about this today, I may be able to find an answer for myself. I'm sure that many of you have heard the saying that forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. It's all about letting go of the anger that you carry. I'm still working to be able to forgive myself and others. I think of every time I made the wrong decision, every time I said or did something unkind, every time I failed someone. I tend to carry these memories around with me, which isn't an easy load to bear. I do my best to remind myself that I'm human and make mistakes, and I simply need to learn from them, but it's hard. I'm sure that many of you have at least one moment in your life that you wish you could have gone back and done differently. And if you're anything like me, you might go back to these moments and memories during times of stress. But we must endeavor to try not to. Remember that bad things we've done in life is important, but we can't carry the guilt around with us for the rest of our lives, else we'll never truly live. My sister once told me that you're the only one who spends the most time with you. And I know it seems pretty obvious, but you really are the only person that has to put up with yourself. So isn't it better to like who you are and not fixate on past misgivings? Forgiving others is just as important. When you can't let something go, it becomes like a weight, something you can almost ignore, but can never shake. For as Dr. Karen Schwartz of the Johns Hopkins Hospital said, there's an enormous physical burden of being hurt and disappointed. For a long time, I was angry with my sister. Angry at the way she changed after her friend died when I was in grade 9. Angry at the way she acted. Angry that I had to adjust to the new reality that had become my life. I knew I shouldn't be angry with her because none of it was really for her fault, and I felt guilty for being angry. What right did I have to be angry when she had just lost a friend? What right did I have to be angry with how she dealt with her grief? I still feel angry at myself sometimes for being angry, for not being as understanding as I should have been, for not being able to be impartial. But as my mom always says, Sakura, you're not a therapist. You're not actually trained to deal with any of this. So I try to remember that whenever I feel the old feelings of anger and guilt come to the surface. I'm still working to forgive. As Alexander Pope once said, to err is human, to forgive divine. We all make mistakes, and we all know how it feels to be the person to let someone down. We know the pain that comes with it. Forgiveness is one of the hardest things to bestow, I know. But without it, where would we be? If we held on to our feelings of anger forever, it would consume us, and then nothing would ever get done. Something I've learned over the past few years is that your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Making time to deal with feelings of anger, hurt, and disappointment is necessary. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you're excusing someone's actions or that you don't have feelings about the issue anymore. It means being able to move forward with your life, because that is what we should all aspire to do. Keep moving forward so that we can live in the present. I'm tired of being angry. I'm tired of feeling disappointed. I'm tired of feeling scared. And I'm going to change that. Because someday, I want to be able to say, I came, I saw, I conquered.